Once upon a time, in the peaceful green hills of Woolly Valley, lived a sweet little sheep named Sammy. Now, Sammy loved living on the farm with the farmer and his family. He and the other sheep got to roam the fields all day long. They could eat yummy grass, take naps in the sun, and play fun games. All the sheep were playing outside when the wind suddenly began to blow. Anytime there was a big job to do, they would call Sammy for help. How do I fold my blanket just right? How do I stack the carrots so they last longer? Not only did he get to play with his friends, but he also helped keep the farm in order. They even asked the messy goat next door if she could start using a laundry basket instead of throwing her dirty socks everywhere. And from then on, the goat didn't have any more stinky surprises hidden around the farm. When things are neat and orderly, it's easier to stay safe, happy, and productive. Sometimes it's fun to get a little messy and have an adventure. Just make sure you clean up after yourself. You can try organizing your toys, your clothes, or your books. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on our amazing stories. Thanks for watching. Bye. Or you can help clean up your house or your yard. You might even discover that you enjoy organizing and cleaning up. And who knows, maybe you'll even become the leader of the pack. It's easy to be neat and tidy when everything is in its place. You don't need to waste time looking for things because you know exactly where they are. It is also easy to clean up when things are organized because you can quickly tidy and sort everything into its place. And when you organize your things, it's much less stressful. You won't feel overwhelmed or anxious because you know exactly where everything is and what you need to do. The wind blew so hard, it knocked the sheep off their feet and sent them tumbling across the field. While he loved things neat and orderly, sometimes it was good to get a little messy and have fun too. So once a week, the animals of Woolly Valley had Silly Day. On Silly Day, they could roll around in the hay, jump in the mud puddles, and not worry about cleaning up afterwards. The only rule was that whoever wanted to play had to pick up their things before they went home. It blew away all the sheep's food and messed up their cozy beds. The wind even blew the roof right off the barn and scattered the farmer's tools everywhere. Suddenly, the wind began to die down and everyone looked around in panic. The sheep couldn't find their food. The farmer couldn't find his tools. And the barn was a total mess. Everyone was scared, except for Sammy. Sammy took a deep breath, stood on top of a hay bale and called out to the others, "Don't panic, everyone. If we work together, with a little order, we can fix this." First, Sammy divided the sheep into teams. One team would collect all the scattered food. Another team would fix the broken fences. And another team would clean up the barn. The farmer joined the sheep, and soon everyone was working together to clean up Woolly Valley. After the windstorm, the sheep's food was gone. Their beds were ruined and the barn was a total mess. But now the pens were full of food, the fences were fixed, the barn was swept clean, and the roof was back on the building. The farmer was so impressed by how well Sammy had organized them. He gave Sammy a shiny golden bell to put around his neck that said, "The leader of the flock." There were lots of things to do in Woolly Valley, but Sammy didn't want to do those things. He didn't want to jump in the mud or mess up his nice white wool or roll around in the hay. In fact, Sammy liked things clean, neat and in perfect order. He arranged his food in straight rows and brushed every curl in his wool. And he even lined up his hooves before going to bed. Ba-oring! The other sheep laughed. Come play with us, Sammy. But Sammy just shook his head. I'd rather stay here and tidy up. Order keeps us safe and happy. Now the other sheep didn't understand why Sammy spent all his time cleaning, organizing and tidying. And they often teased him for being such a neat freak. But Sammy didn't mind. He was happy to make his little corner of the world perfect. One windy day then one day, a huge windstorm hit Woolly Valley. From that day on, the sheep no longer laughed at Sammy. But Sammy also learned something very important that day. And so life was good for Sammy the sheep. The end. What we can learn from this story teaches us that being organized can help us. However, it's also important not to be too neat and tidy. So the next time you're feeling bored with your routine, remember that even a little bit of organization can make life easier and more enjoyable. Hey, if you enjoyed this story, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.